Good morning, everybody. Welcome, one and all. Hey, Elvis. Hey, GX Fire. Howdy. Okay. What's up with the new XP system? I have no idea other than that YouTube likes to make themselves feel important, and oftentimes it's more than it needs to be. It often comes off just a little too much, you know? Just a little bit too much. So, here we are again. Only this time there's a gaping hole inside of my Space Valk 5. What's that look like from above? That's not terrible. It's probably going to be really neat to see. Oh. So yeah, we got stuff to make. Living like it's 5 Space Valks ago. And 10 years ago. Because 10 years ago was Space Valk 2. Holy shit. How time flies, am I right? Hello, Maeve. Hello, Cooperator and TSM. It's the first time you've seen it. Yeah, it came out about maybe 2 weeks ago. If even that. It was definitely an odd inclusion. Actually, no, not 2 weeks ago. Holy shit, it's been over a month. Well, hey, can't be helped. Like I said, YouTube loves to try and add things, and those things are often more than they need to be. You know what I mean? It's a bit much. Ooh. I find that whenever YouTube gets an idea that they're just so adamant about, oh man, we gotta make this thing a feature, it basically either ends up becoming something we ridicule, or it ends up becoming something we exploit. But it's almost never something you would sit there and go, wow, what a great idea. Oh, I'm so happy YouTube implemented this. Oh man, can you believe it, how good the people who run YouTube are? Said no one ever. So, I don't know. It's a bit odd, to say the least. Oh, wait. Shit. Let me try copper. Wait. Let's try this one. Ooh. I kind of like that. It's slightly green, and the sea lantern has always had a slight hint of green. So I think that works, honestly. Yeah. Okay. So, YouTube adds things just to make it overly complicated. YouTube adds stuff to try and make themselves seem more important than they really are. It isn't even just a, oh yeah, this thing, yeah, we're going to add this thing and it's going to be really fun, and it you know, it's of course way overly complicated. And like everybody's going to lose their shit because it's just so cool. No, they tend to add things that they just aren't aware of what it is that people want, you know? They are trying to, like the cool kid buying everybody's favor by inviting them to his birthday party and then like making all of these crazy things possible, but not like throwing whatever at the wall to see what sticks, you know? That's really the issue, is that YouTube's very clearly throwing whatever they can at the wall to see what'll stick. And also, I got a lot of Space Valkyrias these days. This one. I want to look up an old-ass build. Oh, shit. Wow, this world is so old that the mode switcher doesn't, you know, I don't have permission to swap modes, so I got to do it the old-fashioned way. Damn. Okay, so this is what I wanted to take. This is old as hell. I built this shortly after Space Valk 3, or Space Valk 1 died, as you can tell. This is the world download from 10 years ago. Basically, I sort of started thinking about this. This kind of gave me the idea for what I was going to do for Space Valk 3. Like, this just kind of became the template. Now, obviously, I never really extended it or did more with this. But the more I thought about it, the more I realized this is ancient history that shouldn't just be forgotten. So I'm going to make sure it ain't forgotten. Copy, schematic, save, Space Valk 3, prototype. Yeah, Space Valk 3 _ prototype. I think that'll work. And then I'm going to change the palette, because it's not, in my opinion, what it should be. And I'm not, like, getting rid of this. I'm just sort of... I hate it when it puts me in survival instead of creative. Okay. Schematic. Load. Space Valk 3 _ prototype. There we go. Permanently transplanted into this world. So I kind of want to make stuff that's very this style, you know? Again, not 100%. Damn it. Go to creative mode. Okay. Not 100% how I want it, but that'll do. Let's move this like 10 blocks that way. Oh wait, I can move things diagonally. What the fuck? Holy shit, since when did moving diagonally get implemented? Oh my god, if you look at the perfect 45-degree angle, you can move your selections diagonally. Oh god damn it. Undo. Oh, I see. So it must be... Yeah, the selection... Oh, fuck me, it's still there. Okay. The selection has intercepted. Okay. I just want to move it down. Fuck. Undo. Oh, I see what's happening. God, I'm dumb. I'm moving it and maintaining the selection, so the selection box is not actually translating. There we go. Selection box was still around the arm. Didn't want that. Ooh, baby, right at the edge. All right, cool. Probably more bloat if they know Mojang. If anything, they should spend time on improving the algorithm. I'm right there with you, but at the same time, do you really expect them to know what sort of Frankenstein's monster they've created? Like, the algorithm is one of those things that, theoretically, it should work, right? But human nature cannot be predicted or boiled down by merely an algorithm. They can try, and sometimes they'll get right, you know. Like if you're given a multiple choice question, and you're given 100 possible answers, right? So the odds of you guessing randomly and getting it right are 101, or 1 in 100. The algorithm can kind of predict with some certainty how often it can get it right or wrong. It can learn, it can pattern recognize, you know, all that. But human self-awareness is often something that it will just flaunt whatever you're thinking. Humans are oftentimes not the kind of creature that likes to be predictable. And so every now and then we change things up. And I mean, we change things up in a big way. We're not just numbers on a screen. Yes, people can be, brain dead, brain rot, whatever. They can be asleep. They can be zombies. But every now and then, the true spirit of man shows through. It takes some time. It doesn't always show up, but sometimes it does. And boy, when it does, things change in a big way. Things change bigly. Son of a bitch. The best way to describe this is whenever you get some kind of a mass tragedy. When that happens, people come together, people change their attitudes, people, they reconsider their own life choices. Like, people can do bad things, people will do awful things, people can be, terrible to one another. But the exact opposite is also true. And algorithms don't do that. Algorithms behave exactly the way they are programmed. They are set in stone. Even if you don't fully understand the implications. Like when you make a video game and a speedrunner finds some sort of a glitch or an exploit in your code, and they then proceed to break your game wide open. Well, that's not necessarily... Like, we call those bugs. Those are not actually bugs. Those are actually how the game works. That's how it is. You just didn't know that your ability to predict and understand, you didn't realize that that was something that could be taken advantage of. You didn't realize that was actually a feature. Even if it wasn't intentional, there really is no such thing as a bug in programming. It's really all just features, but we humans are not capable of understanding certain things, right? And so we'll attribute this omniscience, omnipotence, to an algorithm or to a series of code, especially the more dense, the more complicated, the more likely we are to ascribe this power. But these things are always 100% operating how they are designed, even if we are not really truly understanding of how they are designed. It's easy to go, this thing was not a feature that I wanted. It was not behavior that I expected. It is not what I wanted to be the outcome. But people can correct themselves. People can change. It's not something people like to admit. It's certainly not something people take into account all that often. But it's very real. And an algorithm will always only ever be what it is written to be. It cannot magically become more than the sum of its parts. And so it just feels like the people in charge, especially at YouTube, don't get that. Maybe they're just bored. Maybe they're just trying to justify how big their company has gotten, because good Lord, has it gotten big? I don't know. You didn't know about diagonal movement? No, I hadn't. I was always Cardinal X, Cardinal Y, Z. You're going to do something, you got to do it XZ, XZ, XZ. I had no idea that you would, you'd be able to move 45. I mean, it makes sense now that I think about it, but it didn't occur to me. Oh well. No big deal. But yeah. I'm just hoping that one day people will kind of like, their attitude toward the world will also change. Because we're due for a shakeup, attitudinally. We're due for a big shakeup. I just hope it's not like a big crunch. The algorithm is based on the niches people usually see. That's true, but again, every now and then we change it up. Every now and then we want to step outside those niches. We are comfortable in our comfort zone until we're not. And then we change. So No, like, remember Icon Has Cheeseburger? That was that cat website that everybody was all like, oh my god, funny cat memes. Funny cat images. Ha 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 ha. Look at the animal pretending to be a human. That was a fad. Those were all the rage once upon a time. And like all fads, it died out. And now nobody even really knows what Icon Has Cheeseburger really even is. I mean, unless you're like a really old internet dweller like me. Like, maybe you are. But that, by and large, things are not always going to be the way they are now. Change is the constant. You can't lose sight of that. Wow, it is really dark on this platform out here. I gotta change that. I think some sort of hanging... Yeah, hanging beacons. We need to bring back the beacon strung up on a string. I'm gonna bring that back. Because that looks so elegant, you know? Now, unfortunately, we only got iron chains. But eventually I might change these to the copper chain. I don't know. I like the semi-turquoise color of this. That chain color's good. No such thing as a bug. Caterpillar weeps in the corner. Hey now, I meant coding bug. You know what I meant. Oh, that beacon breaking sound always seems so sad. Hello, Kenex. Base is looking epic, thank you. So I'm hoping... I guess I should go ahead and just make this. So obviously I've punched a gigantic hole in this thing here. I should probably put some sort of like a plug or some sort of barrier, maybe. Yeah, we'll see. Definitely a room for, and I know this is pitch black in here, definitely some sort of a room that connects, you know, from this tunnel into here. And I don't know that I'm going to make the room go much... Well, actually, yeah, I do need to because this area is down here. So we gotta let it be accessible somehow. So yeah, I think that'll be good. Do you know about the being able to replace near multiple blocks at the same time? Oh shit. Yeah, good point. I should be able to do that. It didn't occur to me that that was possible, but like, I know enough about World Edit's logic that yeah, that absolutely should be doable. You just do replace near, material type, comma, material type, comma, material type, comma. And then, if I'm not mistaken, that should only allow me to make several materials into a unified material. Like, I can make all the stone, deep slate tile, black stone, and black concrete. I can make all of these into X, if I so want. But I'm not going to be able to run all of the commands simultaneously and be like, hey, you should, you know, replace stone with gold, comma, replace deep slate tile with red terracotta, you know, like, I don't think I can do that, right? Okay, so it's exactly like that, gotcha. You'd also try putting sea lanterns in the pillars, lighting them up. Oh yeah, shit, I should do that. Right, duh. I literally had that that earlier. Okay, so it's 24. Okay, so that does add up. Good. Just making sure this lines up the way that I want it. Let's do 10. No, 10 blocks is not big enough. 30 blocks. It's got like, what? 1, 2, 3 blocks of clearance. Ooh, barely any clearance on this side. Let's make it 32 just to give it a little bit larger. Yeah, I think that'll work. So this will be some sort of like a base tower. We'll go from there. I was looking at Space Valks 3 in a world download and it inspired me to make a mega base on Donut SMP. Okay. Well, good job, Canax. Or not good job, but, you know, good luck. That's what I meant to say. Yeah, good luck. Hopefully it'll work out. Are you in a position to, like, actually make that? Because that's a lot of stuff, you know? Making a mega base is not easy. I'm sure you already know that. Are you able to, like, finance this? Is there enough stuff? Like, I don't know anything about Donut SMP in terms of its economy. What factors go into making things? What sort of problems you'll face? Etc., etc. Are you going to be safe reasonably to get this base off the ground? Because, like, one of the problems with mega bases isn't necessarily the resources. It isn't always even alliances or farms or the server allowing you. Sometimes it's time. Like, you know, there will be people after you. Are you going to advertise this? Are you going to say, you know, I'm doing such and such, please don't disturb me? I feel like that's a surefire way to get griefed. But I don't actually know how it works on there. Working on a client, when it's done, you can send it to me. Well, I don't really want to play with somebody else's client. I'm quite good with where I am now. But I appreciate your consideration. Tried Donut for a few days, couldn't get into it. What's it like? What does Donut SMP have going for it? Like, I've heard that it's very LARPy, and I'm not into that. So that kind of turns me away. Is it just like factions stuff? Is it people... What's the overarching goal here? What are we working toward on the Do Not SMP? Are you not FSMP'd? Or are you SM pissed off? There's that brain rot again. Yeah, I don't know. Sort of a pay to win? I don't know if it's pay to win. I don't know anything about it. I know the guy that runs it is a big YouTuber. That's about it. If there's more to the story than that, I am not in a position to get any more of said story. Like griefing PvP is a big part. I guess, yeah. What is, like, the overall goal? Just survive and thrive, dominate everybody else in the arena of ideas, PvP everybody until they quit, dox and harass those who dox and harass you. Like, is that how it goes on Donut SMP? That was all a joke, by the way. For legal reasons, that was all a joke. Do not take it seriously. I am the meme man. My memes are delicious. God, this ring's a pain in the ass. Try to make a lot of in-game money by gathering and buying resources. Really? That sounds exactly like every other major faction server I've ever heard about. I'm not gonna lie. Get rich and build cool bases. Okay. Well, I distinctly remember when I was talking to Dr. Donut way back in June. I distinctly remember, or no, maybe it was May. Holy shit, it's been a while. Yeah, I distinctly remember him going, man, we need more bases like these on Donut SMP. And I was like, you guys don't have builders there? And if it's all about earning that dosh and peeing that PvP, I mean, I hate to say it, but they have not attracted the quality of player they wish to attract by the simple virtue of it's not very fun. That's just not the kind of server play style that I want to partake in. If it's all about, you know, making people's lives miserable by defeating them in defeating them with like crystals or swords or whatever the hell, yeah, that's not going to be a lot of fun. People aren't going to be happy with that. I mean, people will be happy with that, but those people are let's just say you have attracted a set demographic. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Oh shit, this is only 6 tall. Maybe I should make it one more? I don't know. But yeah, having a certain demographic be the target audience means that you're not going to have cool bases, or like you're going to have autism cubes. You're not going to have super important or impressive stuff. I am reminded of how when a mass extinction event occurs, you will have this specialization, this rush of specialization afterward. I guarantee you there was a mass extinction event at some point in that sort of server existence. And all the builders pissed off. They went to other places and such. And, you know, all these new niches were made available. And so PvPers are the only ones who really kind of occupy that niche now. So it's all just PvPing, isn't it? People willing to make farms and autism boxes as much as is necessary. But, like, I guarantee you there's next to no beautification, is there? Like, that just sounds like the problem. Nah, dude, it's still pay to win. You can straight up go buy gear from the web store. Okay. Yeah, exactly. They have cultivated an audience, and that audience is the pay to win audience. Fair enough. I mean, to be fair, the pay to win audience is a valid one. It's just not one people like. But, like, it is absolutely a part of life. Hello, Six Chronicles. Morning, pimps. Coperator, what's good? Jack, always a pleasure to watch at work. Yeah, it's always a pleasure to have work be in the background and Jacktherippa in the foreground. Am I right? Glad to hear it. Shit. But yeah, pay to win has always kind of been one of those types of servers that people look at and go, ew, why are they allowed to do this? But again, it's totally valid. It's just not appreciated. It's not something people like. And yeah, fair. You know, you don't have to like it. I don't play on pay-to-win stuff. I don't give a shit about pay-to-win. But I get that it would be a sore spot. Technically not supposed to be watching, yep. You know? Pooping on the company dime. I mean, what's the difference between watching me and pooping on the company dime? I mean, really? What's that phrase? They pay me something something, I poop on the company dime. And that's why I poop on the company dime phrase. I want to know the whole thing. Boss makes $1, I make a dime. That's why I poop on company dime. That's why it is. There we go. It's not like I'm not doing my work. I'm actually almost done for the day. Are you in American time, or are you farther out in like European time? Like, it's only 10:48 a.m. for me. So like, are you done for the day almost because of how little you had to do? Or is this more of a, yeah, actually it's way later in the day for me, so of course I'm almost done. You know, it's way later in the day. Boss makes $1, I make a dime. That's why I watch Jacktherippa on company time. Perfect. Print it on a t-shirt. Sell it. What'd you buy? What did Cop buy? They pay me a dime. That's why I poop on company. Yeah. What did Cop Raider? New model. Oh, it's an airplane thing. Okay. He loves making airplane models. If I had to guess. Might be another type of model, but he's an airplane modeler. He likes airplanes with a burning passion. He likes airplanes like a man with Asperger's likes trains. Which is to say quite a lot. Not to offend anybody with Asperger's, but there's just something about that particular condition and Thomas the Tank Engine enthusiasts. That's all I'm saying. I'm just simply pointing out there is a connection. I can't say what. I don't know why. I just know that it is a thing. I just, like a man in the 5th century not knowing that the earth is round and that it rotates around the sun. All I know is that the sun rises and the sun sets. Couldn't tell you why. Just that it does. I just moved to California. Yeah, it's almost 9. Jesus Christ, did a lot of work for today yesterday. Uh-huh. Very, very wise. Do today what you can do tomorrow. You are Employee of the Month. In my heart, 6 Chronicles. But I assume, even though you did everything you could do today, yesterday, they still expect you to hang around today. I mean, let's be real, of course they do. What place would allow you to knock off early, be like, I did all my work yesterday? Is this one of those types of things where they're expecting you to sort of hunt and peck for outstanding, let's call them chores, because let's be real, that's kind of what it is. It's just chore making in a way. Are they going to sort of be like, okay, find small bits of things to keep you occupied. You gotta, even though you did all your work in one day, you gotta prove your worth eternally. You know, it's a what have you done for me lately kind of thing. The unexplained love between Asperger's and trains as well. I know. Yeah, new plane model. I know. Great stuff. Your planes are all aired up and ready to go. I'm gonna carve out another little divot here, because I like doing that. Okay, if I do it like this, I can slip whoops. I can try and slip some lighting in here, because I know this is desperate for something. I don't want it to all be dark, even though deep slate tile is quite a dark colored block. How dark is it? It's not that dark. I mean, we got skylight, so that's kind of why, but still. Bowsing job is easy as fuck. Yeah. Yeah. How are you going to get all the resources? I'm going to be honest with you. I'm hoping and praying there will be a duplication exploit of some kind. Like, I am just sort of already thinking, surely there will be some kind of a dupe. Perhaps it will be a duplication of epic proportion. Maybe it will be a dupe of quiet proportion, which is kept very hush-hush, and you won't know about it because you're not in the in group. And then suddenly one day Space Valk 5 will roar to life, and it'll be like, hey guys, I made Space Valk 5 on 2B2T. And I'll be like, yep, it all happened exactly as I predicted. What happened, Jack? Nothing. Nothing happened. Nothing at all. And that, as a result, I'll be able to enjoy the fruits of my labor for the 5 or so minutes that I have it for. Let's do 10. Ah, yes, nice and tall. Perfect. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Bam. 1, 2. Damn it. I hate that. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, cool. This is one of those methods that I picked up way back when, and I just... It looks too good not to make use of, you know? We are truly living as though it is 5 Space Valks ago. Living like it's 1999. That meets at an angle, but I'll count it. Alright, fuck you. Fuck you and your tiny ass hitbox. I didn't even want it that long. Chains are the most annoying block to have to try and string together. Nope. Perfect. I know I'm kind of going overboard with beacons, but like that is the Space Valkyria way. No, like, yes, I'll probably be in a bit to help others with their cases. Ah, gotcha. All right, yeah, if you gotta lend your ear to other people, that's understandable. Please, senpai, please help me. Help me with my work that I am incapable of doing. Probably. I don't know. I'm just mouthing off. It's probably not that simple. Let's make that perfect. I missed this simplistic circle making pattern. Like, almost none of my bases have really had a lot of this in it in the last few years, and I really do kind of miss this kind of style. Did you get it with an ad? What did I miss? Well, I don't know how long ago that was. So, I don't know. You'll have to watch the VOD to find out, Six Chronicles. I'm so sorry. I don't know when this was, because, like, chat versus the delay in my brain, like, all of those things coming together, I couldn't tell you. Love how Jax knows colors theory unconsciously. A little bit, but not really. I mean, I do know consciously how color theory works. It just is what it is. I've known color theory for decades. Like, it's not difficult. At least I don't find it to be difficult. I could be wrong. I find that the more important thing to try and do in Minecraft is not color theory, but to make best use of the geometry of the blocks that you have at your disposal. Stairs, slabs, and walls. Weird, odd things like anvils. What's another really, really obtuse shaped block? Fences can be really valuable. Trapdoors are really valuable. Buttons are surprisingly versatile if you want to use buttons. I've really fallen in love with walls within the last few years. Even things like chains, iron bars, panes of glass. The new grating is really neat. I just wish we had an iron variant of some of this stuff. What's another really unique? Candles. Candles have a lot going for them. Banners have a lot going for them. Then we got weird stuff like dripstone and amethyst clusters, which will kind of bring some odd organic geometry to a place. Obviously, so do saplings and potted plants. The new jars, where are those? Would those be under... They'd be under decoration, right? Maybe not. Yeah, the new pots, the new jars, those are shockingly cool looking. And then obviously some redstone components like the shrieker, the calibrated skulk sensor. These are really weird looking, as are the hopper and the lectern. The lightning rod is surprisingly versatile. Bells are all right, though they're kind of one-trick ponies. Cauldrons are not bad if you know how to use them. Yeah, like, there is a shockingly large amount of crazy, intricate stuff you can make use of if you know how. Decorative pot, that's where it is. Building, functional blocks, okay. This is no longer decorative blocks, it's functional blocks. They fucking changed it. Scaffolds, really neat. Armor stands can be shockingly versatile. Even heads have their place. Yeah, it's just one of those things where, like, you wouldn't expect geometry to be as important of a facet of building in Minecraft as it is, but it is. It's an incredibly important part of making stuff look good. Geometry will be what determines the ooh and ah factor of your build. Color will determine how impressive something looks in the short term, but the ooh and ah factor comes from geometry. I learned that way back like 12-ish years ago when I was building the Sky Temple of Autism at the lands. Like, I was just kind of like experimenting with upside down stairs and slabs, and I was like, wait a minute, this can do so much. You can make fake slopes. Remember, we don't have 45-degree angles, we don't have 25-degree angles, we don't have 30-degree angles. We kind of sort of can get away with stuff by doing this. Like, that looks like a flat slope. That looks like a 45-degree angle. That did really truly capture the feeling it was supposed to capture. Just is what it is. Minecraft is math. Well, everything is math. If you're going to go at it that way, yeah, everything is math. But I'm saying geometry in the sense of the design, the aesthetic. It isn't as much of a 2+1 style thing as you might think. Kind of is, but it kind of isn't. It's more a matter of figuring out what looks pleasant to the eye and capitalizing on that. There's more theory to Minecraft building than you might be willing to entertain at first glance. But I think it works. What do you think the effect would be if 2B's world reset? Oh wow, if the map reset? Holy shit. I do believe people would play, but it would slope off hard. We would lose over half of the player base. Because the thing that keeps a lot of people going is the history. Now, a lot of people who would stick around, we would still have a few hundred people who stick around. We would still have a few hundred regulars. But the thing that keeps a lot of people playing is the history and their connection to it. The people who would stick around because of their faction, their group, their willingness to try and PvP. Like, it wouldn't kill the server, but it would slope off hard. I think over a 6-month time period, you would see 60% of the base, or of the player base, fall off. They would leave. They'd go to somewhere that doesn't have the chance of a reset. God damn it, not big enough. They would say, well, fuck you, Mouse Master, I am refunding my priority, goodbye. And then they would leave, and it would be fine. You would still have 2B2T, the title. But that, by and large, yeah, there would be a lot of people who would be upset. I don't know that it would be the majority of people, like with the item economy impact way back in the day. The item reset upset the majority of people, and then they realized they could organize against Housemaster by refunding priority and things of that nature. So I don't know. I don't know how that would go, personally. If it were up to me, I would have Q World for the people who do not have priority. I would have Q World, which would be a much crueler version of 2B2T, where every time you are in the queue, and this is non-priority, you would be put back to spawn, so there'd be no way to set your spawn, but that it would be 2B2T as you know it, just on a fresh world, you know, Q World. And every time you're getting close to getting in to 2B2T, you would get sort of like a countdown. You would have your inventory wiped. So in advance, you would know, oh, I'm about to log into the server. I better put my stuff up. But I'm not going to be able to rejoin and be at, you know, where I am. So I'm going to have to painstakingly get back out to where I am. So, like, I don't know. It's just more of a human experimentation. Whoops. I don't know why I would be cruel to people like that, but okay. You gotta go, just got a call from USAA. Oh no. Is that bad? I mean, you look upset, so it might not be a good thing. But I understand, Six Chronicles. You enjoy your USAA call. I mean, if something happens to the world file, not by House's doing, by an accident. Yeah, wow, that would suck. I don't know. As I said, that would definitely cause it to fall off. 3, 4, 2, 3, 4. Okay, cool. Yeah, that would be bad. I wonder if, in the event of such an unlikelihood, if, say, for example, the file got corrupted, right? Surely there would be chunks and data and other things from the main world that would be recoverable. I don't know. It's an interesting hypothetical. But yeah, as for Q World, I would make it rather intentionally cruel, just to see what people are willing to put up with in Q World. Maybe make an incentive where once every 6 months I give somebody free priority. Oh no, maybe 6 months is too infrequent. Maybe it needs to be more. I don't know. Once every set amount of time, maybe 3 months, once a quarter, I give people a shot at getting free prio, and they got to do something cool on Priority World. Or in Q World. They have to make something awesome or be interesting in some manner. I don't know. Dance, monkeys, dance. Nah, maybe that's too cruel. Maybe I shouldn't do that. Maybe I should instead just incentivize people to not want to stay on Q World. I don't know. It's a massive file and it's old as hell. I bet the world is constantly being backed up. I don't know. I don't know what that entails. I would like to think, but realistically, I have no way to know. Okay. So I definitely want you to be able to get down. Like you can't. Like you can kind of get down here. Maybe with like Elytra, I can incentivize you to bounce around. But I do want there to be a route to go upward. It's definitely going to have to be a staircase. What would be neat? What would be cool? What would be awesome? All they wanted to do was bust my balls about how my coworkers aren't giving them updates. I just started working here. What the fuck do they want me to do? Oh, I'm sorry. Make a bubble column. Yeah, I could do that. But bubble columns require a lot of space. They're not as aesthetic. Aesthetique. Yeah, I'm sorry they're busting your balls, Chronicles. I hope that's not gonna be a common problem. Why aren't your coworkers giving us updates? Do the things we want you to do. And to be fair, they probably do need those updates. I need those TPS reports. What even is a TPS report anyway? I've always heard that parodied. I've never actually known what that is or what value that serves. What in the hell is a TPS report? Do I look like I know what a TPS report is? because I do not. Thoughts on Elytra was added to 2B. Oh boy. Well, I knew that, again, there would be a fly exploit. A big fly exploit. I knew there would have to be some kind of method that flying around would be possible. I just wasn't sure to what degree. And holy shit, was there a fly exploit. So, what ended up happening... Wait, I've goofed. But anyway, what ended up happening was I got this really, really cool fly from Pyrobyte's client. And it allowed me to kind of... For the first time in years, flying was possible. And it allowed me to go to places and do things that other people were like... I remember flying at spawn, and Taraga Dude was there. Props to you if you remember who Taraga Dude is. And I was like, yeah, I'm the newspaper boy, because I was living at the 2B2T newspaper after the fall of Space Valks 2. And I was like, yeah, I'm the newspaper boy. You know, here's the newest issue of the 2B2T newspaper. And he's like, how are you flying? And I'm like, that's for me to know and you do not know. And yeah, he, I don't think he ever knew. Hank Hill plays Minecraft and frantically schizo rants about TPS reports. But no, seriously, what is that? Test procedure specification report. Okay, it's usually for like IT and tech operations to prove their quality assurance. Really? Is it something that you would do commonly? Like, is that a daily thing, or is that a once-in-a-while thing? Because that sounds like something you would bother doing routinely, but is probably actually a bit of a waste of time. Though I don't really know. I've always seen it or heard of it in a context of, oh my god, get me this thing, but it's probably not actually valuable, or at least not that valuable. I don't know. Holy shit, Taraga Dude. Yeah, I know, right? It really is a waste of time. Good. I'm glad that that is something that I guessed correctly. It's not? Oh, it's not done commonly? But it is a waste of time. Oh well. Wonder where Taraga Dude is now. I haven't seen him on in a while. 3 more this way. Man, it's so much easier to make a spiral staircase in creative than it is to do in survival. Every month, and it goes to nobody, gets passed around like a college freshman. That's a great way to put it. So basically, it's a diagnostic tool that people overly rely on that really just doesn't diagnose a hell of a lot. Nobody's really even that certain of how to make use of it. And it just sort of exists. Is it a method of justifying somebody's job or position or importance or authority or some dumb bullshit along those lines? Where it's like, yeah, TPS report. Yeah, that tells me I'm important. Because the number of things in the world that are of that nature is just way too outrageous. Crazy thing to say? Nope. Well, hey, that's how it goes. Hello, Sam. Welcome. But yeah, I love that description. Gets passed around like a college freshman. It's literally pointless. Okay. Fair. Yeah. That is one of the more painful lessons of growing up. Learning that your efforts might just be wasted. And that the people making use of your efforts, because, you know, especially when you grow up and you have to give your time and money and effort to somebody else to earn a living, to learn that, yeah, they squandered my manpower. Because, you know, human resources is a resource. Yeah, they squandered what I did. My time was wasted. Even though it really kind of wasn't, because I was paid for it. But, you know, it definitely is soul-crushing. And in my opinion, that is one of the biggest reasons why office work is so soul-crushing. Because 9 times out of 10, you will realize, more often than not, there is just no good justification for your actions being used or your efforts being used in the way that they were. And that you are not valuable beyond the paycheck, right? You are a cog in the machine. You are there. And just being there isn't good enough, you know? You don't produce anything of note or interest. That's the worst aspect of, like, any form of office work. Yeah, it's depressing. That's why. The depressing aspect is you will learn more often sooner than later that you're just not being used the way you should be. Because oftentimes offices are behemoths. They've got so many people and they're going 50 million miles an hour and they're directionless, or their direction is vague at best. And you're just kind of like, what are we even doing? And nobody can really tell you. Nobody's able to really give you an answer. Like, maybe they'll give you a sort of corporate answer. You know how those are. But that, by and large, no, nobody's nobody's really, you know, at the helm. Everybody is asleep at the switch. It's a matter of keeping the ship afloat, but only because it is coasting on its own power. I don't know. I'm sure running an office is extraordinarily stressful, though. You couldn't pay me to be in that position. Oh well, such is life. I have a lot of responsibilities at my age right now, so I'm kind of like... So I kind of like it. I'm not going to be here forever. Okay. Fair. As weird as it may sound, there are actually people who thrive in an office setting. One of those people was Alpha. Alpha Computer was so fun back in the day. He had an office job. Or wait, what am I doing? I need to, like, not be on this level. That's going to interfere. Yeah, he had an office worker job once upon a time when I met him. And he was like... How do I put this? I don't want to say what he did because he'll get mad at me. It wasn't like bad or anything, just that it was an office worker type position. He did sales. He talked with people. He was good at it. But he quit that job to go back to school some number of years ago. I think it's fine to talk about that much. And when he did that, he instantly regretted it and was like, I was happier at the old job where I was basically, you know, like, he got stuff done. Because that's the kind of person he is. He's a man of action. He gets stuff done. And he realized that in school, apart from the schoolwork, there was nothing to get done. There was no real... Like, there was kind of a progress bar, but you know how that is. He was just not happy with that. And I don't blame him. I hated school too. Something about the way school is structured, it's very soul-crushing in a very similar way to office work. It's ironic how, as I have taken up learning Blender in the last year or so, I'm not like really good at it or anything, but I have made progress that I can tangibly feel, you know. I've made my own character models and I've learned how to shade them. Like, I'm actually kind of like happy about that. And I'm sure if I'd taken a structured course of some kind, I might have had that knowledge sooner. But that, I don't know, it's just the feeling of doing something on your own terms is different. It's good. Oh well. Not everything can be like that, I get that. This is very new to me, yeah. This question may sound like I'm living under a rock. It's called Space Valorant or still Space Valkyria? Space Valkyria. It has always been Space Valkyria. Don't worry, you're not living under a rock, CJ. I was making a joke for the last 4 or 5 streams where I was saying like Space Valkyria, Space Valorant, Space Valerie, Space... What was another one that I named it? Like, I was shit posting. Because thinking up the titles for streams is not easy. I'm trying to be quirky. I'm trying to be interesting. I'm trying to be, you know, dynamic and unique. I'm trying to make myself cooler sounding than I actually am. That's what that is. So when you see a shitposty stream title, just know, Jack is cool. He's like a chameleon. He can change his colors. His colors can be cool one moment and hot the next. He's cool like a cucumber. And like a cucumber, he'll be submerged in vinegar. And then like Rick from Rick and Morty, he too can turn himself into a pickle. What do you do for a living? I'm a content creator. School is outdated. I think yes. There is an increase of efficiency and an increase of betterment that school can and should receive. The whole school system does indeed need a massive overhaul. Not just in the way teachers are hired, not just in who's hired, not just in what is taught, but in the way we teach. There needs to be a more individual-focused approach to teaching and schooling and all of this. Like, there is so much wrong with school. Really don't know what's going to happen. Because, like, obviously AI is going to be an impact, or a factor, rather. Polish, or no, it would be deep slate tile slabs. make them top slabs and fill it 100 blocks. There we go. And voila. Now, to punch out the hole that it filled, there we go. Perfect. Looks good. Plates and discs and discs and plates. I almost said dicks. I meant to say discs. Yes. Space Valencia. Yes. Space Veronica. I think that was the another name I used. I think school design for learning gets all you're doing is memorizing and nothing. Even schoolwork just amounts to getting a grade and it means nothing. And it isn't until you finish school and get a degree that it means anything. Kind of, yeah. It definitely feels like school is a factory meant to push out people who do memorization without knowledge. You know, there is an emphasis on knowledge without an emphasis on wisdom, and it's felt. We are feeling that lack of wisdom, that critical deficit of, because wisdom is not just knowledge. Wisdom is knowing how to make use of knowledge. There is a critical lack of it, and we feel it, you know? Like a man with scurvy being deficit in vitamin C. You feel it. And we've not yet discovered that scurvy is vitamin C deficiency, but from an educational perspective. We've not yet tumbled upon that, or maybe we're beginning to, but that as a society as a whole, we're kind of still in the dark. And maybe we'll figure that out. Maybe we won't. I don't know. All I know is things are not good. And it doesn't take a brain scientist or a rocket genius to figure that out, to notice things suck, actually. And the origin of the suck is somewhere in the academics. Somewhere in the nature of academics, suck was instilled into our society. Since yesterday is now Jack the Neuralinka, for some reason he wants Neuralink in his head. No, I don't want Neuralink, because as I said, that's not going to go anywhere. I want a computer chip that will help me retain memories. That's what I want. That's a big difference from, yeah, Elon Musk, you can stick a whatever the hell that is in my brain. Yeah, no. No. Big difference. Though I plan on being a cyborg. Whatever transhumanism ends up becoming feasible, I probably will eventually try doing. Because that will become the meta. There will be people who are all like, no, humans shouldn't augment themselves. No, there's a sacredness to the way people live. And I will simply go, Lamau. Shit. Was that 18? It was 16. No wonder. Make that 16 blocks tall. Make it 7 blocks tall. 16 blocks wide. Oh. Wait a minute. I may have just had a brain orgasm. If I pack that in there like that. Okay, so I made this 7 blocks tall, right? 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Yeah. I could put a bulge in the middle. Technically, that's 9 blocks because it's including the 2 here. So it's like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Yeah. 2, 3, 2, 3. So like right there. Let's put some obsidian. I think that'll look good. Ring around the obsidian, pocket full of obsidian. Ashes, ashes, we all crystal each other at spawn. Jack, would you buy a Tesla? God, no. I will not until I am threatened with death and extreme taxes. I will not purchase any kind of electric car. The electric car is the biggest boondoggle of the 21st century. Forget government subsidized cell phones and solar panels. Forget this constant investment in fusion, which can quite literally never take off. Forget the lack of critical infrastructure for various, things that we like. High-speed internet, for example. Like, we're only really just now getting on that. Like, forget all of that, right? Biggest boondoggle of the 21st century. The investment in the electric car. I hate to say this. If it's not broke, don't fix it. The combustion car is infinitely superior. Yes, it has its trade-offs. But the ability to go anywhere and to make the economy what it is. Because the economy is run on trucking. And trucking is not electric. Trucking will never be electric. You cannot make the trucking economy that we have today work with electric. For one simple reason, electric cannot do the endurance test. Diesel and combustion can do things from A to B, and A to B can be thousands of miles apart. Electric can't do that. There are no batteries big enough, bad enough, and energetically dense enough to make your car, if it's electric, last the thousands of miles necessary for the trucking economy that we currently enjoy. And believe me, you enjoy it. For that to work, you need diesel. And electric cars are just such a fool's errand. It hurts. Instead of trying to figure out how to capture emissions, instead of figuring out how to make emissions less impactful, instead of figuring out logistics of the nature of gasoline and all these other things, we're going to just straight up cut ourselves off at the knees. Like, no, it doesn't work that way. What car do I drive? A 2015 Toyota Camry. I got it for about $30K about 7 years ago, roughly. Great car. Love it. I hope it doesn't break down on me and die anytime soon, but unfortunately it is paid for, which means that it is going to die on me in sometime in the next 5 years, probably. That's how it is. He knows about the world. Holy shit. Yeah, of course I know about the world. Who doesn't? Well, there are people who don't, but that's their fault. The brain juices are flowing, yeah. What if a gallon of gas costs what you make in a month? I mean, yeah, if they make it prohibitively expensive. But, like, if they do that, guess what? The economy will crash. So, like, yeah, they can make it my salary in a month per gallon. They totally can do that. But you know what'll happen? People won't be able to do work. Jobs will go bye-bye because nobody will be able to do what is necessary to get stuff done. The economy is run on energy. Energy density and energy efficiency. If you cannot or will not respect that, you're not going to have a very good economy. And the nations that don't give a flying fuck about your ideology, because all this shit is ideologically driven, those who do not, like China, India, Pakistan, Iran, and so on and so forth, they don't care. So they will absolutely mog us if we let them. So, yeah, like, We should be attempting to work out nuclear. We should be attempting to make the fossil fuels cleaner, because there is a ceiling of efficiency that we've not yet reached with fossil fuels. But we're not gonna. Why? Because energy is freedom. Energy is power. And the people in charge hate the average person having power. The power to determine their own destiny, the power to live their own lives, the power to make decisions that the elites do not like you making, etc., etc. Freedom of expression, freedom of travel. The elites hate freedom because they want control. Those who thirst for control will naturally despise freedom because it's the ability to fly in the face of that control. That's what freedom is. Self-determination. That's the line between good and evil. Good inherently accepts and understands freedom of determination and accepts the consequences of freedom of determination. Because it's not like all the things that freedom of determination bring to the table is 100% consequence-free. You know, there are good and bad consequences to freedom of determination. That's okay. But evil is inherently the ability to reject that, to reject other people's agency, to reject your own agency, or to reject the consequences of your agency. That is evil. That will always result in evil. So when people say dumb shit like I didn't do anything, or it was someone else, or whatever, that is evil because it is inherently rejecting the consequences of their own agency. And it's often very provable if somebody did something, right? This world we live in is so traced, so connected, you can figure out who shit in a toilet in a gas station. Like, it's crazy. And yet, here it is. You know, we live in a society that tries to reject personal agency. And it's making everything actively worse. So there you go. Thanks for coming to my talk, Ted. I appreciate it. So yeah, no, I'm not buying a Tesla. Hard to believe that rant spun off because of the Tesla question. Electric cars are a fool's errand, and the moment Trump said, hey, sorry, Elon, we can't subsidize Teslas, because that's how that was going down. Taxpayer money was being funneled into that. And then Elon gets pissy because Elon believes ideologically in his electric vehicle. And I guess I get why. I mean, he has to. At the end of the day, he's the man who invented it, kind of. You know what I mean. He didn't really invent it, but you know what I mean, right? He has to have stock in this. But that at the end of the day, what does not work, does not work. Sorry. It's about energy efficiency and energy density. Gasoline, coal, natural gas, nuclear, these things have the energy density. Electric cannot. Remember, energy is a function of, because we are a shitty material existence, energy efficiency is a matter of chemical bonds. Density and efficiency is always about what you can cram in between the atoms that make things up. If that is the case, the only other option is to either obliterate those atoms, i.e. nuclear, or utilize atoms that have absurd energy density. And the reason that fossil fuels have that is because they've sat in the ground for millions of years. And the chemistry necessary to make those things happen, to make those atoms possible, has been carried out by Mother Nature for us. And so we're not in a hurry. You know, we don't have to dump more energy into making that happen. It's already happened. So we're not in a position to have to make our food is already there. And so, yeah, like, if Mother Nature and the sun has already produced those chemicals, why then would you turn around and waste that energy on something that you don't need to, you know? So yeah, it's efficiency. That's how well you use your energy. You need both energy density and energy efficiency to have the economy that we have. And the economy we have is what makes people's lives good. Or at least better than not. So if you decide you know better than the millions and millions of people who have come before you, and you try to make the economy more into a command economy, you're gonna regret it. You're gonna ruin people's lives. You're gonna make the quality of life go down. And people aren't gonna like that. And they'll only take that for so long. And then they'll take your head. And then another person will come along who thinks they can do it better. And here's hoping they don't. So I don't know. As a orange once said, I'm gonna drill. Yeah. You gotta drill because we don't have a choice. You have to worsen the environment. I'm sorry. It's just how it is. We have to change climates. It sucks, but that's life. Everything, see, part of growing up is learning that everything we have and everything we do is the product of a trade-off. It is a negotiation between doing and not doing, achieving and not achieving, failing and not failing. But you pay a price. In doing, you must give up. You must give to receive. It's how it is. And if that is the case, well, what are you willing to give up? What are you willing to part with? Well, for our economy, are you willing to part with environmental quality for the level of life we live? You know, the level of luxury we live in, because obviously we live way better than most of the world. Well, who says we have to necessarily ruin it for everybody permanently? It sucks that it's obviously not going to get better, but like, that's just an obstacle to overcome. Who says we have to accept destruction? Who says we can't improve things? We may not be able to improve things right away, but like, who says we can't improve things down the line? Why are we giving up? See, that's the thing. The mindset of the people in charge is very defeatist. You can't do it. You can't do this. We can't be that. We can't succeed. We can't blah, 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 blah. Why are we settling for that? Why are we happy with that? I don't want to give up. Do you? I mean, I admit things look awful. You know, young men especially feel like they don't have a future. That sucks. I know I don't. But like, fuck me, man. Are we just gonna settle for that? Are we gonna let that happen? Is that how things are gonna be? Because like, clearly it can be better. We have seen through history, we have seen that it has been better at one time. Don't settle for less just because the people in charge are demanding that you do. Now I've become a fucking pep talk. Oh. I've done that to you a couple times, asked question, rant about the world, Lamau trails off. It's okay. It's okay. Only ideal world is for AI to break from a higher up. I don't think that's the solution. We're not going to reach the ideal world. That's the mindset we got to get rid of. We cannot reach an ideal world. We can only better the world a little bit at a time in the here and now. And then just let things take their natural course. You have to be willing to accept the things you cannot change. But You also have to, the other flip side of that coin is you have to be willing to change the things you cannot accept. And that may mean a lot of pain and suffering. I'm reminded of JoJo Part 5, Golden Wind. Specifically, the very, very end. Those who try to change destiny eventually become destiny. They do so by struggling, and they do so by paying an inordinate price. But they in turn become destiny. I think that's the mindset we should have. We should become the destiny of the world and not acquiesce to the destiny we currently face. Something like that. Maybe I've misinterpreted Part 5. I don't know. Man, the brain juices are really flowing this morning. Good God. True, you feel stuck at 17? Yeah, that's life. Everybody kind of feels stuck right now. Wait, ever notice how when you talk about one thing, it leads to another? Yes, that's because all things are connected. You have noticed the nature of the universe. All things are connected. All things had the same origin, at the same point, at the same time. So it's natural for all things to still, even though it has been billions of years later, all things are still connected. That will never not be the case. All things are connected because all things began at the same time and the same point, in the same way. And the chain of causality still stretches from the beginning to what will eventually be the end. And you are just living along it. And that's that. This model you're building is great. Ooh, send pics. Take a pic of it. I want to see it. I'm not going to know if you tell me what it is. Like, that's not going to mean anything to me. But if you show me a picture, I'll be happy to you know, go, oh, wow, that's so cool, Copperator. You're so awesome. What part am I building right now? I am living like it's 5 Space Valks ago. Which is funny because this is basically the exact same style of build that I made 5 Space Valks ago. I'm kind of liking it. It's turning out well. I'm last thing I'm probably going to do is connect up this portion of the rim to this portion. Probably going to go at like a come to think of it, what angle, what degree angle is this? Let's put that there and there. Line sea lantern. Oh, that's a replicable angle. I like that. God, the line command is so fucking cool. Ugh. Seriously, the line command has given me so much power and agency over the destiny of this build. You just would not believe. Yeah, I was staring down the bottom of this. Staring down the bottom of the barrel. Still never seen JoJo. Oh my god, Copperator, you need to see JoJo. It's gonna be a little slow at first. Parts 1 and 2 are not, like, super amazing. They're still good. But, like, later parts will dwarf parts 1 and 2. You need to watch JoJo. You really, really, truly need to watch JoJo's Bizarre Adventure. You absolutely should watch that show. It has a lot of crazy shit going for it. It will get wild and wacky and violent and all sorts of things. But JoJo is amazing. That show, or that series, is older than me. It's weird. A lot of things that are older than me and that have stuck around are like fucking phenomenal. Berserk, JoJo, they both started about the same time. Dragon Ball, like there were a large amount of things made X many years ago that are just like, wow. Why are they so good? Highly recommend watching all of Dragon Ball and Dragon Ball Z. Maybe only up to the end of the Cell Saga, personally. But still, good stuff. There's a lot of heart in some of that stuff, you know? Damn it. I think that's why a lot of those products, or not products, but a lot of those series have stood the test of time. They have heart. People kind of know it. I don't want to turn this into an anime recommendation. Something or other. So I'll just say that, you know, JoJo is worth your time, I promise. It'll take a little bit to get going, but yeah. Part 2 is your favorite, really? Oh, I've not talked to anyone with Part 2 being their favorite. Everybody I know likes 3, 4, 5, 6, you know, 7. 7 is coming out very soon. I can't wait. Do we have a date? I forget. Did they reveal a date for Part 7 yet? I don't remember. If I heard a date, then I obviously was not paying as much attention as I should have been. Have I watched Sword Art Online Abridged? No, I don't want anything to do with Sword Art Online. I realize I've heard a lot about Abridged. I know it's way, way better than actual Sword Art Online. I'm not, like, upset or anything. I get that. But Sword Art Online just in general feels very dumb. The premise itself is just not something I can get behind. Whoops. There we go. Flip that upside down. Cut. All right, I'll do it. Good. Good man. This is reminding me of what you did in the water build where you did the jack rooms. You built small versions of different Space Valks. Yeah, that was basically the idea. I kind of got bored with building those Space Valks, I'm not going to lie. I could have done them better. That said, it did turn out well. So it's fine. Okay, brush, sphere, deep slate tiles. 2. Mask. Southeast Asian lanterns. Get it? Because the acronym for Southeast Asia is C. Ha 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 ha. I'm so clever. Yeah. These Southeast Asian lanterns go hard. Shout outs to the people from Southeast Asian countries and municipalities and principalities and whatever the hell else. You people are great. No date yet. Damn. Ugh. I was hoping it would come out in 2025. I guess it's going to be an early 2026 thing. ReZero Season 4. Bleach, the last season of that. JoJo Part 7. I don't know if anything else is coming out about that time, but it's looking like all of that's going to line up for winter 2026. God damn, we're already so late into 2025. We're looking forward to 2026 now. Ugh. Oh well. 1990s DC stuff was a great time. Can't stay there forever. True. Have I watched... Or no, I haven't watched Abridged. I don't want to. I'm meaning to also watch Dragon Ball. It's about time I watch something else besides Batman, the animated series. Yeah. BTAS is great, but you do need to expand your roster just a bit. I remember watching BTAS as a kid when it first came on. I was so little, I didn't get it. But I just knew I idolized Batman for some reason. Obviously, Kevin Conroy's Batman was just fucking awesome. What are my PC specs? OMG, I haven't heard that question in a long time. Wow, okay. I have an NVIDIA GeForce RTX 3070 PCIe. AMD 9 Ryzen 3900X 12-core processor. A shitty series of monitors that my father once got from his workplace because he worked at a nonprofit where they'd throw out computer parts very regularly. And a crappy Logitech keyboard and mouse. I don't think you'd care to know the motherboard. Yeah, I don't think the motherboard info would be terribly relevant to you. I could be wrong. Let me see if it'll tell me the motherboard or not. 64-bit Windows 10 operating system, 16 gigs of RAM. Yeah. Doesn't tell me the motherboard. I don't think the motherboards matters too much. That's really the only thing I can think of that's like a vital component that I hadn't named. Yeah, something like that. 2030 is only 5 showers away. Huh? 2030 is only 5 showers away. What the fuck does that mean? Also, welcome, Snux. Happy to see you here again. Only 4 years away from 2030. Yeah, I see what you meant. Oh, you're parroting what somebody else said. Okay. Gotcha. Yeah, that's funny. 5 showers away. Okay, I get it now. My eyes always go to the middle of chat, but sometimes I miss stuff at the top. So I'm sorry if I fuck up. I sent you a link to a short. It's 30 seconds long. You watch it. You think it's funny. Okay. Yeah, I'll give it a try. I will always give something a try at the very least. Do I play 2BGT more for the chaos community or the history? The history and the chaos, definitely. It's also a little bit of sunk cost fallacy as well. I've been on this server for 12 years. I may as well. I took a 3-year break from 2020 to 2023. But, like, the server was stuck on 112 and not a whole hell of a lot happened. So I don't really count that time period because it sucked. But I won't go off on how a Housemaster didn't really keep track of or take care of the server the way he should have. We'll just not worry about that. Okay, yeah, that's gonna look good. All right, I'll start off one of those things I recommended today. Good. Dragon Ball is very long, I warn you. JoJo is also a little bit on the longer side, but it's not that long by comparison. You can get through JoJo in like 2 weeks. Dragon Ball will take you like a month or so. Maybe a little longer. Dragon Ball and Dragon Ball Z, the whole thing. Hello, JM Toriente. Welcome. Jack, we talked about your specs yesterday. Yeah, somebody else asked. Like, he was not here yesterday. I don't know what to tell you. Or he came in after we mentioned that. Like, also, I was being sardonic when I said, oh, I haven't heard that question lately. Like, that used to be a question that was asked of me so often. But no, like, it just... I will still answer the question, don't worry. Do you think it's because it was a different housemaster, or do you think it's always the same person? At this point, I'm definitely leaning toward different person. I'd be willing to put money on either a huge breakthrough with Folia being made, the invention of Folia, or the server exchanged hands, and it was just very hush-hush. And nobody is openly stating, oh yeah, 2B2T passed into new ownership toward the end of 2022, 2023, and they're just not saying anything about it. In which case, you know, whatever. I guess we don't really have to know. It would be nice to know, but it's not, like, mandatory. I don't know. 2B2T is one of those things that just sort of silently makes a lot of money in the background. Doesn't wholly require a ton of upkeep. But, like, you should keep an eye on it. But it's fine otherwise. I don't know. 2B2T is a strange bird. A strange burb. How much money would you pay for 2B2T? What is the max if House offered it to you? Oh my god. I would have to take out like 100 mortgages on my house to have that kind of money. To be fair, I would probably make it back, but still. That'd be hella risky. Super risky. I have no idea how much money Housemaster would ask for it. It would probably be in the millions and millions and millions of dollars range. The other problem is I wouldn't know how to run the server from a Java Minecraft admin perspective. Like, there'd be so much learning I would have to do. It would be worth it. But, yeah, it would be a lot. Oh, man, it would be a lot. As for, wait a minute, this is not correct. Anyway, as for, like, the server itself, I would mostly just keep things as is. I wouldn't have a reason to try and fix what isn't broken. The server clearly runs well. Little small snafus and hiccups notwithstanding, it's a good place. I would still probably play the server as I do now. I don't know that anything else would really need changing. Do I plan to keep Space Valks 5 a creative mode build, or am I planning to build it on 2B? I'm going to build it on 2B one day. I just need that height increase in the end. The end dimension has to increase. That's all there is to it. There's no if, ands, or asses about it. I need a build limit blow up. I need an additional 128 blocks of build height. It's just all there is to it. No negotiating can be done on this factor. I need it. I need it like the rains are needed on the plains in Spain. Your circle's turning square. Oh no. Kinda. I can always go back and change it if it gets a little too wonky. I'm not that worried. But yeah, it definitely will not stay in creative forever. Okay. Let's put that to that. Nope. Son of a bitch, why did it do that? I must have pointed in the wrong direction, no wonder. When did the end height change? It didn't. I need that height to change. The overworld got a height increase. The 1.18 update. The overworld has had a height increase for years. But the end never got that increase. For whatever reason, Mojang just never changed it. So yeah, that's what I'm in need of. You're also hoping... Yeah, everybody's hoping for an end update. I think that's like the most desired thing at this point. We need a competent end update. Yeah, everything plays out perfectly with the dupe glitch and an increase to the end height. Yeah, that absolutely will be... That would be the most ideal scenario, but I'm not holding my breath. Apart from that, we're just kind of in limbo. Hoping that they get tired of, making silly bullshit like the copper golems. Like, it's fine to have that. I'm glad that they made it. I'm just saying, like, it was not as high on the list of priorities. Now, forget running 2B2T. The question you should be asking is, what would you do if you ran Mojang? Okay. So, what is... Like, this is kind of getting, as you said, a little square looking, but I think that's fine. You know, it could be better. I think I know how to do this better. I remember I would actually put effort into updates. Yeah, I know. Imagine if they added some small stuff to the end update and not the height. I know. That's what I'm anticipating. That's the problem. I'm anticipating that. I am fully betting money that they will fuck it up in that manner. Okay, I need to redo this. Like, a few days ago, for those of you who care, I play a game called Yu-Gi-Oh! And it's become awful. But I'm still kind of addicted to it. And we had a ban list on the official client. It's called Master Duel. And that ban list sucks shit. And it really, really, really sucked ass. Like, oh my god. It was the most tone-deaf thing I've seen in a while. And it was a ban list that made me go, you know, I was prepared to be underwhelmed, but I wasn't that prepared. Like, it was oh, holy shit, this is even worse, even more underwhelming than I thought. It was just so nothing burger tier. And yeah, like, it sucked. It was so bad. And it made me kind of go, wow, huh. Yeah, tailoring your expectations does not magically make you not feel bad. Just because you're like, okay, it isn't going to be good. Okay, you know, don't expect anything miraculous. Like, okay, this ban list is going to be bad. You know, expect awful mediocrity. And yet it still doesn't soften the blow. It really doesn't. It still actually feels bad. Who could have seen that coming? Bad things still feel bad, no matter how bad you know they will be. Getting hit in the head with a wooden bat, even though that you know the bat is going to be swung at you and it's going to hit you in the head, even knowing that in advance, it's still not good. Aren't they working on adding more dynamic lighting? Yeah, that was sort of like a hint that this is something they're thinking about, but I don't know. I don't know what they're doing. I don't think even they know what they're doing at this point. If I ran Mojang, I would be putting effort into end updates, yeah. They need to add an end biome and new blocks, because having an in-color purple box would be so cool. There is a game called Black Mesa Source, and in that game, it's a remake of the game Half-Life. In that game, you go to an alien dimension called the Border World, which has been nicknamed by the scientists of the Black Mesa Research Facility. They've nicknamed it Zen, and it's fucking beautiful. Like, it is so breathtakingly amazing. And Zen is the style of update that they need to add in to the end update. Legitimately. It is the kind of end update that I would love to see, because it would put so much atmosphere and love into the end. And admittedly, the end is a barren wasteland in places. You could still keep that barren wasteland. Like, the devs have stated they want to keep that wasteland aesthetic. But, like, look at what they did with the desert and some other, you know, plain biomes, something like that. They added scrub brush. Some scrub brush to the end would go a long way. Just a little bit. You don't have to give it a grass block. You don't have to give it a tree. You don't even have to give it a bush. Just some sort of, like, hey, this is a per block, or a per fruit or a chorus fruit plant variant. It doesn't grow as big as its cousin. Maybe have a lighting block, like the new Firefly bush. Like, options exist. Things can be done. The place can be both colorful and empty and barren. Both things can be true at the same time. It's doable. It's fucking doable. They just need that team that designed the Nether update to get off their asses and design the end update. Because they clearly knew how to design a reasonably interesting set of biomes. Why can't they do that for the end? Come on! Chop chop! You guys have had 5 years since the end update, or the Nether update. 5 years! Surely you can do something. And don't call me Shirley. But no, seriously. Do you upload videos on a different channel? I upload them on this channel. What are you talking about? Go watch my videos, dude. You want to know how to build good? I made a video recently called How to Build Good. You should go watch it. Okay, that's not bad. Perfect. Look at what they did to the Nether. Yeah, exactly. The Nether update will always cement, in my mind, unless those people have been fired or they quit, that they are capable of making a competent biome / dimension overhaul style update. They are capable, but they're not willing. That's the problem. Or they are afraid that the people in Microsoft will interfere, executive interference, and ruin any chance they may have had of putting forward this or that idea. And that's a very real, valid fear. I do get that. I understand if they are genuinely upset that the execs who run the place will fuck it up. They'll come up with gold, and the execs will shit all over it. That is understandable. Sad, but what can you do? Maybe it is a matter of somebody needs to retire, somebody needs to be taken out of power because they're fucking everything up. I don't know. Microsoft does not have a good track record of making things good in the companies that they own. Yeah, they added things to the Nether, but it was supposed to be a hellscape, but yet it is actually interesting. Yeah, It's almost like both things can be true simultaneously. The Nether can be a hellscape in places, and it can be a beautiful, weird, exotic alien biome experience. Like, you can do both. Yeah, it has good spots and it has wasteland spots. Like, you can juggle both. It's not hard. It is demonstrably proven. It is not hard. It is doable. What are we doing? Fill. Where's my last fill command? There we go. Perfect. Okay, before I do that, I'm going to make my next thing 17. Then 17 again. Jack, have you smoked weed? No. Weed smoking is degenerate. Well, you don't upload very often, and I do watch the vids. I've watched them. They're fire. All. I don't upload very often because I hate making videos. Like, I hate making the type of video I know I should make, but I dislike making that. I would rather stream and have a solid build on my hands. I would rather make a thing. Whoops, too big. I would rather make a thing and have that, have something to show for my efforts. That's the sort of person that I am. I'm not a great YouTuber in regards to, you need to do XYZ to stay in the good graces of the algorithm. Like, that sounds like working for a literal demon. No thanks. Much better. Yeah, I should have done this. This is far more cylindrical looking. So make more? You're more of a streamer. Yeah, I'm more of a streamer. I don't feel like the videos I make will be worth the time it takes to make them in most instances. Because nobody will watch. Or next to nobody will watch. Like, I still need to do the Dr. Seuss one because I like doing those. The next Dr. Seuss video. Oh. Just got to figure out what the topic will be. Yeah, I think that'll do it. Have you done the suggested green text and spam? Thank you for reminding me about that. Yes. I'd forgotten that was your suggestion, Coperator. I was embarrassed. I didn't want to say anything. But thank you. Yes, green text and spam. I got to do that. I do not like it, Housemaster I am. I do not like green text and spam. Would you spam with a bot? Would you spam... what rhymes with bot? Would you spam without a thought? Although bot and thought, they do rhyme, but just like barely. I don't know. I'd have to hammer it out a little more. Where do you see 2BGT in the next 5 years, and how would you like to be remembered? Well, I mean, I'm already remembered in history the way that I am, so I don't see that changing. And I'm already remembered for what I like doing, so I don't really care. As for where it'll be in 5 years, probably right where it is now. Provided Mojang does not start making efforts to kill Java, which I have been predicting for a while. Will they do it? I don't know. I hope they don't. I don't want them to. But here we are. Java does not make them money, and they know it. And we know it. And we're not really like... We're not really sure how things are going to go, in all honesty. So yeah, I don't know. Wasn't my idea, but it was in the chart. In the chat. Yeah. Well, shit, who did give me that idea? Who did say that originally? Fuck, I've forgotten. I hate when I forget good suggestions. Grandmother just made you some eggs and toast. Holy shit, I kind of want some eggs and toast. That sounds delicious. Okay, well, I'm getting sick of placing stairs. I need to make it look a little bit more like this. Make it more elegant, more sloping, more gradual. Give a some sort of an adornment, possibly made out of gold, on the bottom section here. Oh, I know. I'm just going to go ahead and do this now. There. Nope, one more down. Okay, so it would be on that block. Yeah, I'm fine with that. Oh wait, no, that's at my head. That's right, this stuff raycasts from the feet. Okay. H-Sil gold blocks. Let's make it like 35? How does this look from the outside? Okay. I've just had an idea. Let me get over here a bit. Do that. Okay, replace air with white stained glass. There we go. Damn. Took its sweet time. Okay, I'm gonna try contorting this ring. And I want to kind of fit it in there like a gyroscope. How do you feel about fit and the outside attention? It's a necessary evil, I guess, is a way to put it. There's really nothing I or anyone else can do, so I'm just not going to worry about it. Fit is a cool guy. I won't lie, he's not a bad person. But, you know, realistically, you can't deny that he's brought a lot of change to the server. As I said, he's definitely the most influential person. That was a question asked yesterday. Who's the most influential person in 2B2T history? And it's definitely Fit. But, like, I guess there's nothing wrong with that, technically. I don't know. I don't really have any fights or qualms with him. I just kind of wish we could go back to the way things used to be. But I also understand that that is a pipe dream. Things can never go back to the way they were. Like, 2B2T history only goes forward, it doesn't go backward. You were in an ancient city when it happened. That does not... I mean, I do kind of know what that's in reference to, what time, what I was doing, but, like, that doesn't tell me how long ago it was. It just gives me a general idea, kind of. I was getting Skulk. I remember that. That's been over a month ago now. All right. How to best, like, copy this? Zero, -35. Oh, it did it. Wait, that's good. Hello. That Taurus idea, or not Taurus, that gyroscope idea might become more feasible than not. Okay, rotate it back so that it's even. Let's do +35. Let's get away from it a bit. Okay. 90. Yeah. That could work. I believe you would be wrong, as the holder of the Housemaster account is the most influential, so they wish that... Okay, well... the question was player, not the owner. Like, yeah, I get what you mean. Yes, the person who owns the Housemaster account, who helped start the server, would technically be the most... Like, yeah, okay. But, barring that... What player who, you know, has actually played, and Housemaster never really played, so that, in my opinion, just does not count. Ooh. Well, that works. Okay, yeah, let's insert this bad boy where I want it. Okay, I hope this is the midway point. Wait a minute. Something's not right. Oh, I see. I didn't select high enough. There we go. Okay, so hopefully this angle is not so steep that it bumps up against anything, but we'll see. Damn it. It just barely grazes. Kind of makes it look like an atom, doesn't it? Maybe we don't need to twist it here. Maybe instead it would be better to have it be pierced through like this. Yeah, I kind of like this better. Sort of a halo effect. And then under here... like right here, I think. Oh, damn, it doesn't touch. Oh, and it gets cut off. Yikes. Okay, so it needs to go upward. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 blocks. Okay. That's manageable. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Maybe even a 6th block if it's like exceptionally not good. Hey, it touches. Okay. Yeah. And it's not cut off on the bottom. I like that. Ooh, purdy. Little lower like the middle lining with that black line. Yeah, I don't know. Do you think there will ever be imps again? No. Imps have been long since figured out and patched, and like the way that blocks work now is not how things work back then. So no, we'll not see imps again. I kind of like that. Looks goofy. It's black under the darkness. Right. Okay. Well, we have a very easy way to unfuck that. 45. Or you know what? Let's just do 50. Replace near 50 gold block should be 25% glowstone. Say it with me. 75% raw gold, baby. How does that look? Much better. Still some dark spots, but that's manageable. It should never be so dark as to not be visible. Because ideally, if it's not visible, that means mobs can spawn, which means Endermen. And I don't like them. Endermen cart off my dirt and gravel and sand. Endermen make things complicated. Endermen enter illegally into your country. Endermen steal your jobs, and most importantly, your family's lives. Because they're prone to berserk rage fits. You know, Endermen are known alcoholics. Endermen have no sense of decency. What's some other Ender slander we can think of? They immigrate into your country illegally. Or no, sorry, not country. Dimension. They immigrate into your dimension illegally. They steal your stuff. They're known drug abusers. What's another funny? They have no moral compunction. They're prone to flying into fits of rage. And they are very, very, very tall and scary looking. Enderman gonna steal your shoes. You better hide your wallet, because I'm gonna take that too. Yep. Hide your kids. Hide your wives. Hide your husbands. The Endermen are out here stealing everybody. Or everything, really. Okay. I like how it's turning out. Still a lot of work to do, but, you know. Oop. Okay. Oop, shit. Keeps fucking doing that. I wish you could disable certain game modes on a world. Like, you can lock the difficulty. I wish you could just disable survival and adventure. Like, that'd be great. So you're forcibly locking players into a decision. Okay. So that's going to be an imposing Space Valkyria. I promise. Oh yeah, the little bits of glass. I forgot. I was using these as guideposts. I may or may not get rid of those rings. I don't know yet. Anyway, yes, they're antisocial. Right, good point. Can't wait till the base is done and the world download is available. It's going to be a while, I warn you. Alright, so how does this look from above? You really can't tell anything here. I might take the lazy route and just copy paste this base at, or this tower rather, at all 5 locations around the star. I don't know yet. Ooh, that looks nice on cave view. I don't know if I'm going to make a unique one for each arm of the star yet. We'll see. But apart from that, I think it'll be fun. So yeah, I believe that will do it for today. Oh God. I'm going to go off and do other things. And I will see you all for Freeform Friday tomorrow. We're going to be playing Limscape, not White Knuckle. I'm going to give White Knuckle a rest until the update. But that's like sometime next month. It's still a little up in the air. So yeah, White Knuckle will be replaced with Limscape. Limscape is new. It just came out like a few weeks ago. It is a liminal space exploration game. It's a walking sim. But also it has a sandbox mode. Which means you can make your own liminal space. Crazy bullshit. So I'm going to enjoy that. I've been kind of holding back on it. It was only like 12 bucks. It was really, really easy. But yeah, I've been holding back on playing it just because, like, I didn't want to spoil myself too much. Kind of already did on, like, one of the levels, but it's fine. I can't help myself. I've been holding back for a few weeks. I've got to play it now. But anyway, yeah, I'm going to do that. And this area will continue to receive development and changes and interesting stuff. And yeah, look forward to Space Valkyria 5. At some point, it will be complete. But that point is not today, and that point is not anytime soon. So yeah, you all have a great night. I will catch you all tomorrow for Freeform Friday. If not, we will be back Monday, 8 p.m. Eastern or Central Standard Time, excuse me. And yeah, I will be streaming then if you want more Minecraft content. Other than that, you know, if you're jonesing for more stuff, I've got videos, I've got fun stuff planned. Look forward to it. In the meantime, like, comment, and subscribe. Hang around. I promise you will have fun. Bye. Oh yeah. And birthday surprise. Next week. Next Thursday. Birthday surprise. Next Thursday. Enjoy.